Mr Deputy President. While we can debate the popularity of the government, have no fear, Senator Gallagher, that the Labor Party is deeply unpopular and there is no love between the Australian electorate and the Labor Party, as demonstrated by the last federal election results. So we're here this afternoon having a debate about promises and commitments, about the honouring of those commitments. But let's reflect for a moment. Why are we here? Why are we here? Why are we in this place today having a discussion about budget deficits and, dare I say, a word that has been erased from the Labor lexicon, budget surpluses? Why are we here? Because Labor wanted to do the exact same thing that we are doing and that we will do. Labor too wanted to get the budget back into surplus. Labor too wanted to get the budget back into surplus. So while we're talking about honouring commitments, while we're talking about saying one thing and doing another, let's have a look at what Labor said about budgets. Let's have a look at what Labor said about budget surpluses. In 2008-2009, Wayne Swan's first budget speech claimed he would deliver, and I quote, "a surplus built on disciplined spending." Wayne Swan said he would build a surplus built on disciplined spending. So let's think about words, commitments, honouring those commitments. What was the result? $27 billion worth of deficit. 2009-2010, in Wayne Swan's budget night address, he told Australians that the nation was on a path to surplus by 2015-2016. In 2009-10, Wayne Swan said that Australians were on the way, on a path to surplus by 2015-2016. What was the result? The result was $54.5 billion worth of deficit. So, staying with today's theme, honouring your commitments, saying what you mean, in 2010-2011, Kevin Rudd's final budget, the Treasurer said that Labor's budget program would see the budget return to surplus in 3 years' time. Would see the budget return to surplus in 3 years' time. And what was the result? The result was $47.5 billion worth of deficit. It is bit rich, very rich indeed, for opposition senators, Labor senators, to come to this place and talk about promises kept. But the story doesn't finish there. In 2011-2012, the first budget under Julia Gillard, the Treasurer's speech claimed, "We'll be back in the black by 2012-13 as promised." We'll be back in the black by 2012-13 as promised. And what was the result? $43.4 billion worth of deficit. In 2012-13, the year of truly magical thinking on the part of the former Treasurer Wayne Swan, he said in his budget speech that night, "This budget delivers a surplus this year and surpluses each year after that." And what was the result? It delivered a deficit of $18.8 billion. One more point to demonstrate the theme, if I need to. In 2013-14, Labor's final budget, its budget message echoed exactly the same theme as the previous years, and he said in the budget speech that this budget sets a sensible pathway to surplus. This budget in 2013-14 sets a sensible pathway to surplus. And of course, we know the history. The coalition comes to office and inherits a $47 billion debt. The message is a simple one. You will hear us talk about budget surpluses. You will not hear the word surplus from their mouths. The challenge for our country is a real one. Time is against us, and if I might just add this sombre note, what the events of MH17 have taught us is that our country is not immune from the events in faraway places, is not immune from the events of faraway places. So too, should an economic calamity visit itself upon the global economy, this country is not immune from that, and more importantly, this country is not ready. This country is not prepared. So when I hear unfairness, when I hear about inequity, I think That is an unfair outcome. That is an outcome we should be concerned
Order.
about.
Senator,